Hey everyone, now I know that there are a ton of tutorials out there for this one already, but it's still fresh in my head from learning it a couple of weeks ago for the top 100 solo list. So I thought I would pump out a tutorial for it, as I think I've got it pretty close to the original, and it's always good to have content for my fledgling channel. A word of warning, however, and I'm not sure if this is just urban legend or not, but I'm too afraid to find out. But you will need a Fender Stratocaster for this one. Whatever you do, do not play this on a Gibson Les Paul. Legend has it that if you play this one on a Gibson Les Paul, just like in the movie Candyman, by the time you get to the third solo, the ghost of Jimi Hendrix will appear behind you and knock you upside the head. So be forewarned. Now, there's a very good chance that I just made that up. But, use whatever guitar you want and take your chances. Now, we are tuned down 1/2 step for this one, as is very common with Jimi Hendrix. Going to try to cover the entire thing here, see if I can squeeze the whole thing into about a half an hour. The solos I'm going to cover as close as note to note as possible. But the little verse fills, I'm just going to gloss over some of them pretty quickly, as he's just throwing in little pentatonic licks here and there. And he repeats some of the same ones over and over again. So I'll show you a few of those, and you can improvise some of your own. It's pretty simple little fills. Since all four of these solos stick mostly in the 1 C minor pentatonic box, I'm not going to baby step through this one and give every fret number and every position. I'll point out the important notes and the important bends to hit, but for the most part, I'll demonstrate what's played and where, and then repeat it slowly a few times in close-up. Try to keep this tutorial relatively short, considering I'm tackling the whole song and all four solos. So let's get started, but first, a bit about the scale that we're going to be using with this one. Like I said, we're predominantly working within the C minor pentatonic box right here. A few passing notes out of the blues scale, and I believe 1 or 2 out of the natural minor scale, and I'll point those out when we get to them. So let's have a look at All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. Show you guys how to play it. All right, let's have a look at All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. See if we can get through the whole thing in about a half an hour. It starts off without any electric guitars, I don't think. I think it's just 12-string guitars that started off, but these are the chords. Now, remember, we're in drop tuning. We're tuned down a half step. So while that would normally look like a C sharp, is actually C because we're tuned down a half step. Jimmy often played like this with his thumb over the top and played the chords like this. Doesn't matter. Sounds the same both ways, and a lot of people have difficulty with that. So that repeats twice before the first solo comes in. And so let's have a look at that first solo. I am on the neck pickup right now, and I'm going to switch to the bridge pickup at the very end. But I think the first 3 solos are on the neck pickup. So we're in this C minor pentatonic box right here at the 9th fret. That little box. We get into this little extension. We get into that little extension a few times as well. And almost the whole solo takes place right here. He gets up here a little bit once or twice. But so the first solo, after you do that twice, is... and it starts off right in that little extension box. So we're sliding into 13 on the G. I think that's 4 full step bends. And the last one gives some vibrato. Finishing up there on 11 of the G. Little pre-bend. Sliding into 13. And then we're into this. With vibrato, and that's right in the pentatonic box. Another pre-bend. That he's getting into the Dorian mode with that note right there. The Dorian scale, Dorian mode works beautifully over this chord progression. He dips into it right there. I think the only time he dips into it. And then 2 full step bends at 12. So let me run through the entire opening solo slowly. You're rolling up there on the 9. You're barring the 9. And then sliding out. And then you're going to kill your volume a little bit. And here is when we're getting into the fills. So I'm going to show you some of the fills that he's using, some of the fills that you could use, some ideas and whatnot. He's basically, all these little fills are within the C minor box. They're all right in there. And so here are a few of them that he's using. We get a little more volume. Here's another one. Sorry. That's another one. And this is another one. Here's another one. You're just barring the 2 middle strings at the 9th fret, sliding up to 11, back to 9. Or you could do it here. Or, like I said, he used that note from the Dorian earlier, right there. So you could do that. You could do that little back and forth slide down on the G and B string as well. Right there, and that works. So all those little fills. Little fills like that. And so those are like 5 or 6 little fills right there, and I think 3 or 4 of them are ones he uses. So, and he repeats many of them. So you know, once you have 4 or 5 of them under your belt, and improvise some little fills of your own, or you can use those, and it'll all sound just fine. So now we're into the second solo. So let me play the second solo, and then we'll take it slowly and go through that. And there he's getting into the blues scale with the blue note. And again, we're in the C minor box here. So here you've got your index planted on 9 and your ring finger up on 12. And now we're into this. And this sliding into 11 of the D. Couple of little slides there. Just right up the pentatonic into that little extension box. And for a full step bend at 14. And a little pre-bend release. And then back up again. With vibrato. And then you got to go, you're up a full step, and then you have to go up a step and a half, back down to full step, back up to step and a half. Without picking it. And then pick it, and then pull it back up to step and a half. And a little index bend there. Release. A little half step with your index. Let me run through the whole second solo slowly. Finishes up there with a little half step on the 12th fret of the G, and then we're back in. And now we're into the third solo. You're sliding into 9 on the G. And then your little half step. Nope, full step. On 11, and then you're rolling up to 11 on the D. Vibrato there on the 11th. Up to 11 on the D. So up to that point in the third solo, so up to that point slowly. And that's a little bit tricky. At speed. Down, natural, up, and you're picking each one. Full step. Without hearing the bend. You're kind of killing while you're bending it. You're hitting the note, bend, hit the note, kill it, bend it, hit it again, release it, and then finishing up there. You see what I mean? And now we're into the slide bit. So let me run through that, the intro of the third solo one more time. Vibrato. The whole thing finishes up there on 13 of the G. And now we're into the slide part. In my performance, when I did it for the Top 100 solo list, I played it all in one take, so I could not get a slide on my finger fast enough to do the slide part. So I'm going to show you two ways to play it. Here's how I did it. At the, what is that? The 18th fret, the two middle strings. And I put lots of delay and echo on it. And just slid out of those two notes. You could play the whole bar chord right there. What would that be? The C sharp. Or I guess it would be C because we're in drop tuning. And slide right out of that. And then I played octaves. Do I have enough volume here? Now, Jimmy played this on an electric 12 string, so the slide bit. So it's not going to sound the same unless you use like an octave pedal or something like that. So mine sounded pretty good, I think, using octaves like that and lots of delay and lots of echo. But if you want to get close with a slide, you can play those exact notes that I'm playing in octaves from there at the 6th fret on the D. And its octave up here at the 9th fret on the B, and sliding that up to, what is that, 11 on the D and 14 on the B. Sliding up again. And that's just... what did I say? So I'm not going to tell you the B string. It's just the octave of the other note. So we're starting off at 6 on the D, sliding up to 11, and then sliding up to 14, and then up to 16, back to 14, and then back to 11, and then back up again, back up to 16, and then up to 18, and then back to 14, 16, slide out of it. And that is the slide bit. So you could play your slide and just play those notes. But it's not going to sound the same without a 12-string guitar. So now we're into the wah part of the solo. And that again is octaves, and you're muting the B string. So you're on the G and the E. You're at the 9th fret, and it's octave up here, 12 on the E. And you're moving it up 2 frets the first 2 times. And then you're moving it up 3 frets up here to 16. And then slide out of it. And then we're into this. So, hold on. There it is. So one more time. And again, that's all little minor pentatonic box stuff. All right, and then we're into this. So let me run through that slowly. Two more times. It's all right here in this box. And then we're to this. Again at the 12th fret on the B and the 9th on the E. Move it up 2 places. And then clean up your tone a little bit, maybe kill your volume. And then we're to this. And that is your C minor shape right there. Just on the bottom 4 strings, and then you're bouncing off the 11th fret here on the high E. Doing the same thing back here at this B flat major shape, and you're bouncing off the 9th fret. And then you're sliding into your A flat in the A position right here, but we're drop tuning, remember? And then you're going to slide into that. And after you slide into it, you're going to slide up into those 2 notes there on the G and the B at 9 and 8. And you're going to move it up 2 places and then move it back. So. And then you're going to repeat it. And then this time, when you get down to this A flat shape, major, you're gonna hit that chord, bottom 4 strings, and then you're gonna mute the strings for a whole bunch of little chugs. So kind of like this. And then back in. You're gonna do that again, and then after you slide back to 9 and 8, you're going to grab 12 again, and in unison with the 9 on the high E. Move it up 2, move it up 1, move it up 2, move it up 2. And that is the end of the second solo. So let me run through the whole, third solo, sorry. Let me run through the whole third solo slowly. And then we'll move on. And the last solo is pretty easy. So. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't play that very well. And then we're back into... And now the final solo, you're going to kick your selector switch down into the bridge position, and it starts off again right there at the 12th fret on the B in unison with the 9. Just ride that a whole bunch of times. Move it up 2 spots. Now that part is a little bit tricky. Here's what he's doing. So the first time, now right here, he's going full step, step and a half, full step, natural note, full step. And he's doing it fast. And then back. And then you're going to move it up 2, 1, 2, 2. Now you're up here at 19, I think it's 19. And then you're going to grab the 19th fret, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Full step bend on the high E. And just start riding that, and the song fades out. And you can give little dips. You want to add a little more flair, you can little step and a half bends in there, and that's it for All Along the Watchtower. Let me just go through that little end bit one more time. Whoops. And that's it, my friends. That's how you play All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. Let me back up here. Get these off. And I hope that helped you out. I hope you enjoyed that. And that's a lot of fun to play once you get it up to speed and get the whole thing memorized. It's just a fantastic solo, obviously. And like I said, play it on any old guitar you've got kicking around. Ghost of Jimi Hendrix.